Okay, so maybe I'm not meant to do this. I'm having a homestead crisis. Some people have midlife crises. I'm having a homestead crisis. Okay, here is my struggle. I so badly wanted to have bourbon red turkeys. Philip showed me bourbon red turkeys a couple of years ago. And so I hunted high and low through our entire province for anyone and everyone who was selling pure bourbon red turkeys. I had done a ton of research on how good the bourbon red turkey was, a heritage breed, and how good the meat was. And obviously having a homestead means that we're trying to be as sustainable as we possibly can. We love turkey. I'm good at cooking turkey. I'm so good at cooking turkey. I will toot my own horn for that one. But I didn't have turkeys. And I was like, I definitely know that as one of the meats we produce here on our homestead, I want to start this breeding project. I am not crying about turkey. As a breeding project on our farm, I absolutely knew that it was going to be a little bit of time to raise up some turkey poults to be able to produce our own turkey meat, which would go to freezer camp. So my plan was to have some breeders. I would have a selection of hens and one tom, and every year they lay so many eggs that I could then use in my incubator. You saw our incubation product, our incubator project that we did from some eggs that we had that were sent to us to be able to use to hatch our own poults. And this was like a huge project plan in my head. And so far it's been working pretty good. I was able to locate a farm here in Nova Scotia that had the most beautiful bourbon red turkeys, and I picked up poults, and out of all of those poults I ended up with all hens. I won what they consider the turkey lottery, because oftentimes you end up with you have chickens, you end up with like too many roosters and you only need one rooster, or you end up with way too many toms with turkeys and then you're looking to rehome them, or those ones end up just going to freezer camp. I ended up with all hens. So I did not produce turkeys my first year. Year 2 came. I bought some more turkey poults, and I was like, for sure, one of these is going to be a tom and the rest can be raised up and I'll have a few more hens for my breeding program. I ended up with all hens. So this is my 3rd year of having turkeys, and as you know, we just drove almost 4 hours one way and 4 hours back to pick up a tom so that we could, for sure this spring, it's now the end of 3rd week of February, for sure this year for spring, that I would have fertilized eggs laid, that I could incubate my own eggs to have my own poults, that some would go to freezer camp and some would stay as breeders. I just don't think I meant to do this, because YouTube family, I am not 100% convinced that Sven, my tom,
is a tom.
Is not a female. Is not a hen. I have been watching Sven for 3 weeks now, at least, since we went for that long road trip to just pick up a tom, which I know a lot of you thought I was absolutely crazy for driving so far for a turkey. But I was determined this year that all this work and all the money we've spent on feeding turkeys for a couple of years to raise them up, building these beautiful coops, building the fencing, harvesting our own logs to have our own post for this. This isn't just like you pick up a couple $5 turkeys and you hope that you get turkey meat. Like, this is a huge expense, huge time expense, you know, an expense on your heart along the way, because I've now fallen in love with these guys. And I don't think I have a tom. I sent pictures to the lady that we got our tom from, and she's convinced he's a tom. So I could be totally wrong. And as you know, this is my first time doing the breeding projects that we're doing here on our homestead. I can't see any determining factors of physical characteristics of Sven that makes Sven a Sven. I haven't looked at his backside because he will not allow me to do that. There's a couple characteristics that he could potentially have that would tell me for sure that he's a tom. Aside from, he doesn't have a blue, ogre-y looking, wrinkly, long snood sticking out, and he hasn't done his fanning or his dancing. I really don't know. I haven't seen him do it at all. And that just, to me, tells me that he is probably not a tom, but she's convinced he is. So again, I could be completely wrong, but something tells me that I have another hen and that I paid a lot and drove very far and had a very expensive road trip for another hen. this is Sven. Sven has an ankle tag, which is why I know that I haven't mixed up, because the breeder put the ankle tag on him. Luckily, because otherwise I would have no idea. Oh, it's okay, you missed. Try again. Otherwise, I would have no idea that Sven was Sven. He looks like all the other hens. Somebody tell me that I'm wrong. Somebody tell me that I'm wrong. Okay, so here's my issue. I'm like 1 day away from doing a couple of different options. Keeping the turkeys costs us money every single month. And the point of raising your own food is not only so you have food that you produce on your own farm so you know where it came from, but also along the way, I should be able to produce my own turkeys for a pretty good cost. At this point, we have so overspent on keeping and raising turkeys, not only in money, but in time. And hydro for our incubator and all the things. Like, I can't even right now in my head tally all the things, but I'm gonna say we've spent way too much money on that. And I'm trying to justify in my head right now if it's been worth all of the time and hard work that we put into it. Do I love them? Are you gonna poop on me?
For a second, I was like, is he gonna
check
fan?
his backside. He's over here, but I can't see anything. So at this point, I'm trying to justify this project to myself. And when does it become silly and an over expenditure on the farm when I'm not producing anything? So I have a couple of options. I can continue. She's trying to get up there, but there's no room. I can continue the breeding project and hope that Sven is a Sven and that Sven will incubate the eggs, and then I'll end up having turkeys to be able to harvest this year.
Well, not incubate.
Well, I'll be incubating the eggs that lay.
Yeah, but he's not going to incubate
Oh,
them.
he's not going to incubate them. No, sorry. So Sven will ultimately fertilize the hen's eggs. The hen's eggs will get laid and gathered by us, and then we will put them in the incubator, raise up those poults to have turkeys to put in their freezer.
Right.
But at what point do I consider this to be an absolute crapshoot and realize that this project is maybe just not meant to be?
I mean, all in all, they're all going to be really delicious.
So I have a couple of options. I have 3. I can keep the turkey project going, wait another several months, because I would think that they'll probably be laying like April or May. Incubate those eggs and see if those eggs are fertilized, which again is going to take quite a bit of time. And then see if I end up with any poults. That would tell me for sure if Sven is a male or not, if he's a tom or not. Second option, rehome the turkeys. And do I want to do that? Yes and no. At this point, I'm like, maybe I'm not meant to do this. And then at the same time, I fall in love with these guys. But I'll just be very clear. Although these turkeys, like I love them, they give you back a different type of love than a cow or a horse or a dog or a cat or a goat. They're birds. So right. Although I know they know me and they're not pecking me, they're happy. They'll be happy for me to touch them. They really don't care that much about any interactions with me. So that makes it a little bit easier for me. Could this
space be used and utilized?
Yeah. So here's another couple things that I'm thinking. So my third option would be to freezer camp them. So I can keep them, continue my project and just play out the time. 2, rehome them, and 3, freezer camp them. Because ultimately, they were raised for me. That was the intended purpose for raising turkeys on the farm. But they have a whole bunch of other problems that come with them that I think we should go over so you can help me make this decision. Okay, so here's another couple of things why I'm having an issue with deciding on whether or not to keep or not to keep the turkeys. I know for sure I'm going to want to have turkeys in the future, because I think I can do some type of like chicken tractor or something where they don't have the type of structure that they have or the fencing that they have. And I'm going to explain why I'm even thinking about rehoming these turkeys while I make the decision. These turkeys, literally, the second you let them out of the coop, they go over the fence. We have tried multiple different types of fencing. We've tried multiple different approaches to make sure that they go in every night. They are not smart like chickens where they're like, the sun is going down, I better get to my safe warm bed. They're like, la-di-da, I'm gonna go up in that tree 50 feet from my house, and then I'm gonna make my mom and my dad go and find me and climb the tree so that a coyote doesn't eat me. They're so not smart when it comes to things. They are literally one of the dumbest creatures in terms of caring for their own safety. And when you go to try to get them, if they've run out or they've hopped over the fence, they immediately take a straight line running through the woods as far as they possibly can. Sometimes, twice now, never to be seen again. That's the truth. So I don't know how I can keep the turkeys enclosed in the area that they're currently in right now, unless I do a great big netting over top of those tall trees in their area, which is not only going to be a gigantic eyesore on the property, it's right out our side door, but is it even going to keep them in? Because all of the reviews I read for everything that's at netting online, the netting just comes apart. People have it all zip tied together. It's going to be a monstrosity on the side of the property that's going to look terrible. Will it keep them in? Probably will deter them from jumping out for the time being, but long-term solution, probably not. My other option is to not have them in the coop and in the setup that they have and build them a turkey run somewhere else on property where it's completely enclosed in with hardware cloth. That will involve me concreting the bottom to make sure that predators like foxes or coyotes don't get underneath the sidewalls, chicken coop wiring, or any type of fencing, like anything else other than a thick, strong hardware cloth is not going to keep them in or keep things out from coming in to eat them, because they'll be way more exposed that way, even if they have a house that they can go in and out of during the nighttime. And if I lock them in at night like I do now, I have to gather them every night and get them in, which I can tell you is a huge time factor on our day every day. Having to let these out, hope that they haven't hopped over the fence in the day, and then at night, us trying to clown car them into the coop. It's nonsensical at this point. It's so much time. And in weather like this, it's incredibly difficult. It's so icy out there today. It's -25. We've kept them in the coop today because there will be no catching them to get them in at the end of today with the way that the ice is on the ground. We can barely even walk on it to get to the coop to fill feed and water today. It's been very difficult. So I think that relocating them on the property is going to be a huge expense for us to relocate the turkeys that we currently have right now. Hardware cloth, wood, building a coop, all the hardware for building the coop, concrete, bedding for underneath to be able to actually secure this to the ground. It's going to be something that's, I think personally, more money than it's worth for the couple of turkeys that we have in there. So this is the predicament that I'm in. So we're trying to make an educated decision, but not an impulsive decision, on what we want to do with the turkeys. So I want to hear your feedback. What do you think? If you have turkeys, please tell me if you see anything on Sven that indicates to you that Sven is a Tom, because I think I really need to know if Sven is actually a Tom so that I can make the decision on what I'm going to do with the turkeys. If Sven is actually a Tom, well, then my project can kind of go as planned here. Then we're kind of on the right track. But if Sven's not a Tom and I have another hen, I'm not going to wait another whole year and hope that I get a Tom, luckily from another farm somewhere, to be able to bring home that's the same breed as the ones I have, and then be able to continue my project again. When I've been feeding these hens for 3 years now, almost 2.5 years. It kind of seems silly at this point. So I need help making the decision, and I need your educated opinion if you have turkeys on what you see when you look at Sven. So let me know in the comment section. And if you have any insight on any other suggestions that I'm maybe not seeing in this moment of my homestead crisis, then please let me know, because we're just trying to make a decision on this. I absolutely love the turkeys, and no matter what our decision will be, they were raised initially for meat. So if that's the decision that we make and they freezer camp, then that's the decision that we make on that. That was very clear from the beginning what we were raising turkeys for meat. They're not really pets, they're really here for the purpose of eventually having our own turkey meat. Rehome them or continue the project. That's where I'm at right now. So let me know what you think.
I too totally agree with what Elisia's saying. It's been a long project, and we have invested a lot of time and some money into this project, and it is really defeating every year now. Now I can say every year that we don't have a Tom and we're not producing our own turkeys. And we haven't invested so much money that this isn't a project that we can't come back to. This project is something that we can always come back to. And if these turkeys go, and I mean go to another homestead and they want to carry on this project, and they might have better luck finding a Tom for these hens, because these hens are really grouped together nicely, and they will be a nice group with a tom. They don't peck each other. They live harmoniously together. That freezer camping these, they might be more valuable to us right now to sell them, and we can invest that money into the next project, or we have multiple projects going on our homestead. So I'm with you, Leash. I'm partial to a lot of the things, and I'm okay with what actually happens either or. Even if we keep the turkey and we look for another tom, it's just, this is now year 3, and maybe we weren't destined to do turkeys. I enjoy eating turkey. It is my favorite food to eat. So that was the goal. Initially, it was to produce our own turkeys and to have a tom, and then to every year produce turkeys. But that's just literally not what's happening right now. We literally have turkeys, and every year now we are getting more turkeys, and they're just being female turkeys. They're just being a bunch of hens, and we're not getting any toms. And it is very difficult, and it is extremely frustrating that every time we let them out, we're chasing them around for, at the shortest amount of time, an hour. At the longest amount of time, 3 to 4 hours. And on 2 occasions, turkeys have gone away, and they're never to be found. 2 times, 2 of our hens, not toms, 2 of our hens have ran away. And they roost up in the trees, and they can jump over 8 feet. So we built a fence, we built an area, and week 1, we lost a turkey. And every day we let them out, we're chasing them to get them in. And some days it's easier and they just go in, but most days it's not. And we're all out there chasing them around. And we have video to show us out in the middle of the dark with flashlights and on minus 20 temperatures, minus 20, and feels even colder sometimes. It's just not feasible. And it's not safe. It's not safe for us. It's not safe for the turkeys. And, maybe turkey farming is just not for us.
I think we made a crucial mistake the first year having the turkeys. What we should have done is at the end of that first year, we should have harvested our turkeys because we had all hens. We should have just freezer camped them, had our turkey meat, which is what we were raising them for, and then get poults the next spring to be able to do our project, and then hope that one of those was a tom. I think because we didn't do that, I've been prolonging making a decision on what to do with the turkeys because I don't want to fail at the project, because you get set into you really want to successfully do something. But at this point, I have definitely failed on the project of the plan that was originally set for the project. And now that I have an attachment with the turkeys because I love the animals, just so everyone's clear, I am not opposed to freezer camping them. I have no problem doing it. I know in my heart I was raising them for the purpose of meat. But that doesn't change the fact that I've now kept them for almost 3 years, 2.5 years. And for what?
It's almost like they're more valuable to us not to go to freezer camp and just end the project like that. Maybe get a win out of maybe selling them to someone who can carry on this failed project. And I don't think we're failures. I think we've done everything that we possibly can do. I think it's just a lot of bad luck not getting a tom.
Which I have actually spoken to other homesteaders that I personally know just through conversing and learning and researching about different topics for homesteading. And there has been multiple homesteaders that I've talked to who have said, oh yeah, by the way, we don't have our turkeys anymore. They just weren't for us. And so I can't think that we are the only farm that has a problem keeping them on property. And the reality is we do have neighbors, and we do have wildlife behind us. You've seen that, coyotes, and you've seen that. So I just am very protective of the animals that we have on the farm, and I'm not willing to just let them stay out all night if they don't come back to their coop.
Well, and it's not feasible to just have turkeys that we're feeding.
That's an expensive feed to the wild nature.
Yeah, it's just not something I want to do.
Yeah. So we're kind of in this predicament that we're trying to talk ourselves through on what we should do with the turkeys. So again, let us know what you think. Today is day 49. 49 daily videos.
Let's go,
Which
Hive.
means that tomorrow is day 50 of us posting daily videos, because there will be a video tomorrow. I also want to hear from you. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
How are you liking the daily videos? We're getting to that 50 mark, and we want to know if you would like us to continue the daily videos. What are you loving or not loving about the daily videos? Let us know.
Give us some feedback.
Because we need to know if we are going to keep doing our daily videos or not. So we're going to need some encouragement down below if you want us to continue this. Daily videos are a lot of work, but we are really enjoying doing them. And I think we've got ourselves on a work schedule now that is making the daily videos possible every day.
Oh, yeah.
Not to say that, there's never going to be some life things that we're, we have to be like, or we're parents first, or things like that, where we're maybe never going to not miss a daily video.
Well, and there's
but we're hoping to do daily videos.
Right, we're doing daily videos, and like we said in the previous daily video, that some daily videos aren't going to be like extravagant, but we do have a lot of fun projects coming up, which will make our daily videos more entertaining. But yeah, on with the daily videos, I say.
Let us know in the comment section. But tomorrow is day 50. So if you've been here for all 50 videos, then pat yourself on the back. I can't believe that some of you have been here for 50 days in a row. And if you're new here and you've missed the other 48 videos that we posted, then go back and watch them, because you've missed out.
Yeah.
And we're so excited that you're all here with us. It's pretty exciting. So, okay, help us out with our turkey problem.
Yeah.
And then
I think the real answer is, we're the turkeys. We're the couple of turkeys, and that's
there
the
was
problem.
already turkeys on this farm.
We have 2 turkeys trying to raise turkeys, which is a problem.
That might be the ultimate problem, but well, these turkeys are gonna sign off on today's video, and we'll be back for our video tomorrow for day 50. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow.